shade of the trees, whisper of a breeze, I feel he almost surrounds me. Hear him in the din and the quiet within, I find myself no longer lonely.
I knew I needed a miracle. We could Father Bill to intercede. He needed a miracle, and I wanted Cole to be his miracle.
The Healing Garden, which is right next to St. Augustine's Church, the murders and other violence going on in the city and beyond, the victims and the offenders, we wanted to have a garden where people could come and pray about this crisis in our lives. A garden doesn't just sprout flowers on its own, right? You gotta weed it. And who wants to weed in the middle of the summer? I'm down on my knees, sweating. I look up for a minute, and what I see is a vision of Father Bill Atkinson, who I knew from our parish, St. Alice's in Upper Darby. We were in the same parish together. I see him in his wheelchair under a tree there. Oh my God, that would be great if we could have a sculpture of some life-size sculpture of Father Bill in a wheelchair in the Healing Garden, inviting people to come in and sit by him and pray for whatever they need to be healed from. It could be something crippling like he suffered, the first quadriplegic in the country, in the world who was ordained. I said, I gotta tell somebody about this. I was given the name of Mary Moody and Rich Herron, who was one of the caregivers all these 40 years. That legacy of care and belief, mostly, of course, in Father Bill, his belief that nothing can overcome his desire to serve God. A life-size bronze sculpture, you could have it in 3 places: in the garden at St. Augustine's, at Monsignor Bonner, looking over the hill where Father Bill watched all the sports teams play. One in Rome.
So much of Father Bill's ministry as a priest took place right in this pavilion. As he sat here day after day in the summer months, and so many people were drawn to him to stop and talk, how many confessions were heard, how much ministry went on, perhaps without people even realizing it themselves. People ask about miracles. Well, pray for miracles. Pray that God may, through the intercession of Father Bill, answer the prayer of people in need. Healing that takes place in many different ways, relationally, morally, spiritually, emotionally, physically.
I knew I needed a miracle. I knew at that moment the only thing that was going to change is if he got a miracle. Then the neurologist came in and he said it's not good. He has sustained a lot of serious injuries. He's in a coma, not an induced coma, he's in a coma. He is on life support. He's on a ventilator, a feeding tube. He has 9 brain bleeds, many of which are in very critical areas of the brain. One was in the brainstem area where if that doesn't work, he can't swallow, he can't breathe on his own. He had 9 broken bones. He had 2 punctured lungs and a damaged kidney. So every single day we prayed the prayer. He doesn't remember, but he prayed the prayer every day. Every day I posted, please pray to Father Bill for my son. Please pray to Father Bill. And I started giving updates. St. Mary Magdalene had a prayer service where over 300 people showed up at my parish on a Friday night to pray with us and to ask Father Bill to intercede. 3.5 weeks later, Cole made his first movement. Once he woke up, 3.5 weeks later, things started moving fast. I'll tell you, Father Bill was working overtime then. Because the next thing you know, the right arm's moving, then the leg's moving. We get moved to Bryn Mawr Rehab, and it just started taking off from there.
We try to make Father Bill better known. We need you to continue to do that, to tell people the story about Father Bill.
We know that art has a way of attracting attention and evoking emotion. And I think when people are able to see even the design of the sculpture now, the ideas of what it could look like, it evokes an emotion. But the idea is to have a place for someone to come and sit next to him, to share the space with him. And that's when you really get to kind of know or reintroduce yourself to Bill Atkinson, Father Bill, or introduce yourself for the first time by offering your prayer, by just sitting and listening in silence, which Bill Atkinson was an expert at. Sitting and listening in silence. And being able to do that is a wonderful opportunity with art, to let that pull forth from us. What's the desire of our hearts? Timothy Schmaltz is the artist who is helping us design the sculpture, is well known in Rome, well known throughout the world. And it's an honor to have him as part of the team working for the sculpture of Father Bill Atkinson. I had a great experience of living with him. Father Bill was one who showed me what it means to be patient. He was a man who, in every moment of his life, had to demonstrate what it means to be patient. As we spend our time praying, asking Father Bill to intercede for us, is also ask for that gift that he received of patience in our own lives. Because sometimes when we make our prayers, we want an immediate result. When we are thinking about the canonization process for Father Bill, we want an immediate result. And it's not going to happen immediately. So praying for that gift of patience, I think, is one of the best things we can do.
Join us in this, you might say, a crusade to help his legacy and what it represents of longing for and having confidence in God's healing touch. Join us in that to make Father Bill's legacy known throughout the world.
It's a great day to be alive. It is.
Great day to be alive, right?
Father Bill, pray for us.